Millions of Americans risk losing their home insurance and car insurance as prices soar and major companies pull out lest they face bankruptcy. As the Wall Street Journal puts it, quote, getting insurance for the car and a home has gone from a routine expense to a do-or-die ordeal. It is a mess so big only Washington could make it. So what happened? In short, government policies made it cheap to build in risky places, while other policies made those places even riskier. Toss in 20% plus hikes in costs, plus an assist from the trial lawyer lobby, especially in Florida, and you've got a perfect storm for insurance, courtesy of the morons on the Potomac. I did a video on this after the Maui fires, how environmentalist fetishes about virgin nature means that huge swaths of America are now cluttered with dangerous underbrush. Essentially, government-sponsored mega fires waiting to happen. Meanwhile, subsidized insurance for flood regions, again courtesy of lobbyists and earmarks, loop in another chunk of millions of homes built in areas they never should have been built. The problem is that this leaves insurers with a choice: either cover everybody and pass on the tens of billions in disaster claims to normal homes, which can mean hiking prices by 30 or 40% to cover the losses, so State Farm alone lost $13 billion in such underwriting losses last year, or, of course, just cut them off. Cut off all the risky homes, which is an ever-growing universe given government-fed policies. In fact, apparently the entire state of California is now too risky, with two of America's biggest insurers, State Farm and Allstate, pulling out last year. As a result, 18 million Americans are now going without home insurance, going naked in the industry lingo. Many are low income, meaning if something happens, they will lose everything. Note, the fun does not stop at home. Car insurance is also in dire straits, with rates jumping by 15% in New York, 17% in New Jersey, and 30% again in California. Nationwide, car insurance has gone up 6 times faster than inflation in the past 12 months, making it 15 months in a row of double-digit increases, the fastest since the roaring inflation 1970s. Now, what's driving car insurance is partly those soaring costs, including thousands from government emissions mandates, but partly it's bleed over from the housing fiasco, since the reinsurers, the companies who insure insurance companies, they have to pass on the housing losses to cars. So the Journal cited one woman who tried to insure 2 homes and her 2011 minivan for $18,000 a year. So what's next? Brought to you by Unchained.com. We are already seeing entire regions of America turn into insurance deserts as companies either pull out or they quiet quit, meaning they slash advertising and make it hard to sign up. They might require the original documentation on your plumbing, for example. They do this to avoid PR blowback from abandoning those states altogether, but the effects are real. For example, in Florida, the state-run insurer of last resort is now the single biggest insurer in the state. How to fix it? It would take some radical reforms from wildfires to tort reform. Given the lobbyists and activists involved, that won't happen. So expect it to get a lot worse before it gets better. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.